Hello, let's continue our Sudoku adventure with Bartolomeo's Barrier by Emphyrio. So we have normal Sudoku rules in every row, every column, and every 2x3 box. We are placing the digits 1 to 6 exactly once each. Additionally, we have killer cages in the grid. These are these cells that are surrounded by dotted lines. Digits sum to the value in the top left. So these 3 sum to 6, these 2 sum to 8. Finally, we have shift lines in the grid. I don't think we've done these before in Sudoku Adventure, so I'll go over them carefully. You can kind of think of them like palindromes, but let's do this from first principles here. So I'm actually going to use the pen tool here, and let's divide. I'm going to draw this across here. We're dividing the line in half. So we have this half and this half. Now, when we look at a cell and we mirror across the half to the other end, those cells are linked. And one will be larger than the one will be exactly one larger than the other. And then this one is mirrored here. One will be exactly one larger than the other. But one of these halves is always the one that's one larger. So for example, I could do 4, 2, 1, 3. This would be valid because 4 is one larger than 3 and 2 is one larger than 1. What I can't do is this, where 4 is one larger than 3 and then this 2 is one larger than 1, because all of the larger ones need to be on one half. So this is valid. All right, hopefully that's understandable. If we have an odd length line, do we have any odd length lines? Well, if there is an odd length one, then the middle cell's ignored, but I don't think we do. So that's fine. All right, well, those are the rules. There's a link in the description if you want to try it yourself. I'm told this one's a little bit on the harder side, but I'm sure you can handle it. And you always have my solve to fall back on if you get stuck. And I'm going to get started right now. All right, well, I'm going to start with a 6 cage because 6 is, there's only one way to add to 6 and 3, and that's 1, 2, 3. And so this is 4, 5, 6. Almost done. No. Okay, so these two digits, could these two digits be the one higher? This could be 4, 5, and 5, 6. That would work fine. So what we could do is fill 3, 4, 5, 6 here and 3, 4, 5, 6 here. Because we can't put a 2 over here because these couldn't be 1 or 3, right? So let's see, what else can we do here? Is the 8 interesting? Let's see, 8 can be 2, 6, or 3, 5. So it's not 4 and it's not 1. Okay. If this was from 4, 5, 6, it would have to be a repeat from down here because it can't be this one, right? If it was different than these two, it would be this one, and then there would be 2 of them in this box. So if that were the case, it would have to be a repeat, and it couldn't be a repeat of this. So it would have to be a repeat of this one. So this would have to be something like double 4, and then this would be 5, and this would be 3 or something like that, or double 6. No, double 6 wouldn't work. Okay, so I don't think this can be a 6. Let's go over that. If this was a 6, then there'd have to be a 6 down here as well. And that would mean that we'd having a 6 on both halves doesn't work. Just like having 1 on both halves doesn't work. Because one half has to have the digits that are one higher than the other. So they can't both have a 6, because 6 is the highest digit. So this is not a 6. This has the same issue, actually. If this was a 6, then again, we'd have a 6 on both sides of it. So this is not a 6 either. In fact, doesn't one of these have to be a 3? I'm trying to imagine how we'd get away with not doing that. So if this was a 4 or 5 pair, it probably is pretty obvious that this doesn't work. Whoa, loud boom. So if this is one higher than this, then this will be one lower than that, right? The 4 or 5 pairs, will be different from each other, but we won't have consistent low-high. So there has to be a 3 among these. If there's a 3 among these are the lower ones, and these are the higher ones, if that's helpful. Maybe I'll use some coloring here. I'll use blue and orange just to signify, maybe instead of coloring the cells themselves, maybe I can draw lines. So I'm going to draw blue on the side that is low, and I'm going to draw orange on the side that is high. I think that'll help. So if 3 is in one of these two, 3 is not here, which means 3 is up here. So if this was 4, this would have to be the larger size, and this would have to be 5, because it couldn't be 3. No, sorry, this one. So if this was 4, this one would have to be 5. I mean, that seems okay. They both see this cell. So if this was 4, this would be 5, this would be 3, and that would also be 4. Oh, wow. That's a tough spot, but I saw it. I don't even know if that's what we need to do, but look at this. If this was 4, I'll write it out again. Well, I'll write it out for the first time. If this was 4, then this could not be 3 because 3s are over here in this cage. So it would have to be 5. Now this cell, you can see from the red mark, sees the 4 and the 5, so it would have to be 3. But now down here, what is 1 larger than 3? It's 4, but we can't do 4. So that's just broken. I wonder if there's a more general way of phrasing that, but that does put 4 down here. So that the 4 joins the 3. I think we could have realized that in a much cleaner way of saying one of these is 3, therefore one of these is 4. But it is interesting how it interacts with this cell. So yeah, I saw that in a much more difficult way than I needed to. This is from 4, 5, 6, by the way, because it has to be one different from this one. We just don't know which way yet. Okay, force here doesn't help a whole lot. Is 5 problematic for some reason? 5 would, oh, okay, okay. Here's my point. The 3 matches up with the 4 because it can't match up with the 2. Yeah, this is one higher. So if I put a 5 over here, I need a 6. Oh wait, hold on, is that, but that can't, right? If I put a 5 over here, then I need a 6 down here, but this also becomes a 6, right? Because this can't be 5 anymore. So that's not going to work. This is a 3, 4 pair. And we know this is one higher. So this is a 4, 5 pair. This is the 6. That forces this to be 5. We can draw this as orange and this as blue. Oopsie. That is blue. Oh, that's not blue. This is blue. Okay. So this is one higher than this. We have a 3, 4 pair here. So this can't be 1 because it has to be higher. Can we do 2, 1? I think we could. So we could do 2, 1. Sorry, 2, 1. We can't be 3 or 4, so otherwise we're 5, 4, which I think also works. That, by the way, this can't be 5, and it adds to 8, so that can't be 3. So this is from 1, 2 only. In fact, 5, oh, okay. 5 in this box is limited to here. I just noticed that. That's helpful. That gives us 5, 4. This is 3, 4. 4 goes with 5. 3 goes with 4. This can't be 3, so that can't be 5. So this is a 2, 6 pair now. This is from 1, 2, 6. All right, we're making good progress, and I've only looked at the left side of the grid so far. Oh, this is roped. 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. So what I mean by roped is that, let me do a little bit of coloring here. If I make these purple, and you probably know from the horizontal roping, but anyway, vertical roping, these are all matching, right? And so what are these 2 digits? We don't know what they are, but we can call them yellow. And what are these 2 digits? We don't know what they are, but we can call them blue. So now the question is, where does yellow go in this box? It goes here. Where does blue go in this column? Where does yellow go in this box? Where does blue go in this column? So we end up with, if we have any 2 digits the same like this, it forces what we call roping, in this case vertical roping, and these digits are all the same. So this is from 1, 2, 3. That's from 1, 2, 3. This is from 1, 2, 6. This is from 1, 2, 6. That's all I mean by that. I don't think I'm going to keep that highlighted because I don't want to keep too much color in the grid, but yeah, we are vertically roped, so we should keep that in mind. So we need a 4 and a 6 up here. We need a 5 and a 3 down here. If this was 6, this would be 5. This was 4, this would be 3 or 5. 1 would require 2. That also works. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of options here. This is not a 2 because there's a 2, 6 pair in the row. So let's fill these. These are 1, 3, and 5. Okay, so the dividing lines here, So this is one higher than this. So these are consecutive digits. And then, or sorry, we don't know which one's higher, but these are consecutive and these are consecutive. So these are both even digits. Ah, this can't be 3 or 5 because this is odd. So we're going to have 2 odds here and 2 evens here. We don't know which one's larger, but we do know that happens. So this is not odd. So this is a 3-5 pair. And then this has to be even. And so that forces it to be a 2 because it can't be 4 or 6. And so that gives us the 1 and the 2 here. These aren't 2s, and we can actually fix our roping now. 2, 6, 2, 6, 1, 3. All right. So we know one of these is a 5. Oh, the 2 actually goes with the 1 or the 3. But we do know one of these is a 5. Does that force... It's certainly not this one. So this has to be the 5 for the row. So this is 4 or 6. Do we know which one? I think we can go either way. We can go 5, 4 with 3, 2, or we can go 5, 6 with 1, 2. All right. So we know what these are. These are 1, 4, 6. So 1 goes with 2, 4 goes with 3 or 5, and 6 goes with 5. So that gives, no, it doesn't, not a triple. Okay, here 1 goes with 2, 4 can't go with 5, so it goes with 3, and 6 can't be there at all because it can't go with 5. Now I have a 2, 3, 5 triple. So that's a 1, that's a 3, that's a 1. 1 is low, so this has to be low as well. That's a 6. That gives us the 2s and the 6s. That's not 1. Okay, so this is a pair, 3, 4. We're getting there. Okay, so where does 3 go in this column? The answer is none of these places, so it goes up here. I noticed this, by the way, by saying these 3s line up, but I think it's easier to explain as just claiming. So in this column, these 3s are here, which means this can't be a 3, and this can't be a 3. So it's a 5. 5 goes with 4 or 6, but this 2 can't go with 4, so it goes with 1. So we should draw some of these lines. This is the blue, and this is the orange. And then this is the blue, and this is the orange. We don't know how this one works. We can't draw it anyway. 3, 5, 4, 3. These just have to be consecutive. It doesn't really matter. They end up consecutive. Okay. So 1 has to go with, sorry, what are the mirrors? 1 goes with 2. 3, yeah, let's just finish these first. Okay. What's the pair here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's just determined for us. There we go. 1, 6. I was thinking about it way too hard. There we go. Cool. Well, yeah, I spent a long time explaining things, so I don't think the 11 minutes is too bad. It flowed pretty nicely, actually. I think I spotted some things I didn't need to. I think there were some more straightforward things to see. But this was a really cool interaction between these two lines in this 6 gauge. I think that was a gift that kept on giving. And once we figured that out, the rest kind of flowed pretty naturally. Just had to notice stuff. So that was neat. Thanks so much, Emphyrio. I haven't done split lines very much. It's not a super common constraint, but they're fun. And yeah, of course, if you enjoyed this content, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.